North, stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. John.
Here.
Scott.
Here.
Mark is absent, or are we calling Mark? Or?
Yeah, I'm supposed to call Mark.
Mark will be here by phone. Stephanie is here by Zoom.
What is Mark's number? Sorry.
You got it. No, I
I
got it.
got it.
You got it too, either one. I got it.
Right here.
Seven nine seven 7719.
That's it. Yeah.
Hi, Mark. This is Samantha. I'm going to put you on speaker. All right.
Want to look over the agenda?
The only thing that changed from what I sent to you yesterday to what you have in front of you is I did miss the social services director. She'll be here by Zoom to answer you guys' questions about the indirect costs. And then Kelly would like to talk to you guys about the courtroom grant really quickly. So those are the two add-ons from last night.
I'm voting to accept the agenda with the additions.
Motion by Stephanie to accept the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Want to review the December 2nd meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and dispense with the reading.
Motion by Mark to approve the December 2nd meeting minutes as presented and dispense with the reading. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Stephanie. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Look over the vouchers.
There is one bill that we would like to get added on, if possible. I know you guys don't like add-ons, but this is for the new officer's license.
Peace
And-
officer's license.
And yep, and he is going to be starting on Monday. So if we could get this added, that would be great. In your packet, there is also, it just happened that your guys' commissioner meeting lined up with our payday. So in your packet, there is a Griggs County one that does have a two Griggs County ones that do have status paid, and those were from payroll. So then those are also on the back end here as well. But so those aren't, you're not approving to pay those now, those are just in the system and will get cleared out after today. So.
No, we have to have a meeting to clear up anything before the end of the year for bills.
And I do have that as a special commissioner meeting.
Do you see anything out of the ordinary? I kind of looked at them a little bit. Sam?
Nope, I didn't see anything.
The only question I had was, county agent special fund shows a deficit of $600. I thought that was kind of an in and out for,
The special fund is the one that he gets revenue for the weed certifications. What page is that one on?
it's on page 3. There's a voucher here for dues that draws on the special revenue fund, so that probably shouldn't come out of there.
We just need to see the account history on that fund.
What's that?
We just need to see the account history on that fund, and
Yeah.
see what's going.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Oh, you did, okay.
What was it for?
Dues for North Dakota Association of
Agriculture Extension Agent.
Extension.
But we need to see the account history, see what prior has caused that balance to get to a point where it can be negative.
We don't amend any of these budgets before the end of the year. We do that afterwards, don't we?
Correct.
Today.
There you go.
Which one's in question?
Um,
Do you guys question it, Bill?
County agent special fund, which is an in and out fund, so really, there shouldn't be any funds drawn out of there unless there's funds put in. It's not a,
Okay.
Okay, so there is some revenue that did go in there, and this report wouldn't show that revenue. We do have $1,351.18 worth of revenue in there that went in, and $1,024.44 of expenses coming out.
so he's doing it right.
Yep.
Okay.
Would dues come out of that account? I would say no.
And what were the dues to?
North Dakota Association of Agricultural Extension Agents or something like that.
Is that largely invited? In the was it in his budget, the dues?
Dues. Budget. miscellaneous, copier supplies, repairs, advertising supplies, telephone equipment, travel, benefits. No dues there. And in the special fund, it's just $500, and the category is expense. I'm not. Yeah, no, I don't see anything for dues in there.
How would the general telephone be over $1,600? That should be fairly budgeted, fairly close, that shouldn't be the case.
Which page is that one on?
That's on page 3 also.
Okay.
That would indicate that it was over last meeting also.
Yeah. 4192. Three, five, six. They seem to be all fairly close.
Well, that's just something we'll have to amend the budget for him anyway, so it's not like we're not gonna pay the telephone bill.
Right.
And the payroll deductions on 2 is over, along with
On page 2.
and the tax 125 expense.
Those are payrolls. So you're not approving those right now. And those are in and outs. The T125 is just an in and out. So I don't put an expense number in there. So it's just automatically going to be over. And all of these are just over just because I don't put anything in the system for those.
Anticipating next payroll period.
Hmm.
It's over because it's anticipating next payroll period.
No, I don't have, like, in the system, when you guys see,
Oh.
like, if it's over, it's because I don't have anything in there. So this is how much has already been taken out of those accounts. So that Todd and Rebecca Edlin one,
Yeah.
that's all just because I don't have anything in those ones either.
What's the advanced tax expense? I can't ever remember seeing that before.
Advanced tax, so if somebody wants, a payroll expense out of their paycheck to go into advanced tax, then it's then we take that out and pay their taxes with it.
So it's withholding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Withholding taxes.
Advanced taxes. Where's that one?
Page 1, or page 8, whichever you're looking at.
Yeah,
Page-
yep, that's a payroll, yep. I was trying to think if that was the one that Connie puts all of the tax money in there before she pays it out, but no, that's not.
You're not talking about Social Security withholding tax, you're talking about income tax. Right?
No, it's kind of like the Christmas fund.
That's what I mean.
Yep, yep. And so then it's just for taxes, to pay their property taxes.
We do a payroll deduction for property taxes for
Mhm.
county employees.
Mhm. Yeah, nothing of this telephone is jumping out at me like it's different.
So, gotta get my head wrapped around this. So is that withheld before or after it's subjected to all the FICA and all the different withholdings that we have?
That would be or after.
So the taxes are all paid on it,
Yep.
and then rather than give it to the employee, we keep it for them?
They want us to.
They're paying their property taxes monthly, in effect.
No, they put it on that they want
So
this.
so the treasurer then, it's a prepaid property tax.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's label it accordingly.
Okay.
So the next time somebody looks at it, they can understand what it's for. So this never goes back to them. This is prepaid property tax.
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Until I don't again. So in Connie's books, it shows up as prepaid property taxes.
It comes up as advanced tax, but yeah, that's what we have it labeled as advanced tax.
And it's against each property.
I think they just tell us how much they want it taken out.
Right, but I mean, if I come in and prepay my property taxes, it goes against a specific piece of property. And that's how this works too?
Mhm.
Or is this just a fund that, when does that get paid into the treasury? When does it go against the property? At the end of the year in one lump sum, or is it done?
I think it's monthly. I would have to ask Connie on that, but I think that's
Why don't you ever explain that to us next meeting?
okay.
We have time. Well, that's all I can learn for today on that. I make a motion, we approve the bills as presented
With the addition.
with the addition.
Motion by John to approve the vouchers as presented with the addition of sheriff's voucher for $45. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mark? You there, Mark? We lost
I
Mark.
lost Mark.
He's still there.
Mark?
Mark?
No, Mark.
Yep.
Up there.
Did you hear us or looking for a vote on
Yep.
voucher?
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard everything. So
Okay.
I vote aye.
Mark votes aye. Stephanie?
Aye.
Aye. Dale votes aye. Motion carries. Wayne, you're on the agenda. What have you got for us?
I have got an email from our Florida DOT, Elena Gottsman, and she was wondering if Griggs County would like to use our COVID funds, that $48,810.88, I mean, on our chip seal. We can do that by using $48,810.08 off the top of the project, and then the rest of the project will be split with the 80.93 for the federal money and 1907 for the county share. COVID funds need to be obligated by September 30th, 2024. Originally, when we received those COVID funds, there was all kinds of things you could spend it for. Use it for to offset gas tax, preventive maintenance, routine maintenance, operations, personnel, salaries. Well, that was in January. Then in March, we got a new email with guidance on there, and says Federal Highway thought those funds were too risky, or all those ways to spend the money. So now it'll be 100% eligible. All that 4810 will be go as a match. No local match required, so it's 100%. Only eligible on project-related costs, normal federal aid participation items. All projects need to be on the federal aid system or a qualifying bridge. All projects need to be bid through the North Dakota DOT. Special items previously listed will no longer be eligible. Funds must be obligated by September 30th, 2024. So I think that's a good opportunity for us to disperse of those funds, because when we do this chip seal, we're gonna expend all of our federal aid funds anyway. We might have to borrow ahead. And so, as I said, we had a commissioners meeting today. She said she'd like to know by tomorrow whether or not we're gonna use that $48,810.08. So that's why I wanted to get on the agenda, to get that decided.
And we can use that as part of our match.
It won't be a match, but it'll reduce the overall costs
Oh.
down 48,000, whatever it is.
Okay.
So then our match would be less.
Less.
And I had been given a estimate, but the DOT thought that the estimate that KLJ had given was too low for when they move all their equipment and everything. They wanted them to increase that, so they did. So I had this big worksheet all figured out, and if we'd save a bunch of money. And the way it worked out at time, at that cost, then we wouldn't have had to borrow ahead.
No. But they increase the mobilization.
Increase the mobilization by $75,000.
How can there even be $75,000 in mobilization on a chip seal?
They put in, KLJ had 25,000.
Just drive your trucks from here to there.
Drive your trucks and all your equipment down or whatever. So, not saying it's going to be that high, but they thought it should be in there just in case mobilization was that high.
And our matching funds are 20%, is that what we have to match in that, or are we matching 5%?
19.7%.
Okay. So So,
So at that one cost, it was, our match would have been like 153,000 without taking the 48,000 off. And then by using that, then our match was down to 144,000. Now with this $75,000 extra.
right, but we're spending $40,000 to reduce our match by $13,000. Can't this money be spent somewhere else? Can't we use it to offset something else? Because we're not getting the full use of the money.
We're
There's-
replacing federal money with
With
federal money. Yeah.
right.
Well, the thing was, when I had it figured out, we would be saving $9,000 on our local match. And the 39,000, we'd reduce that overall cost of the project by 39,000.
By
So
spending-
then their 80% would be against,
Right, but that only works to our favor if that $40,000 or whatever this money is can't be used for something else.
well, that's what I just read. They had changed all the regulations, so now it can't be used for
Other things.
anything other than on a federal project. That's the original rules. And
It just reduces how much we would have to borrow forward.
But I mean, if that's what happened, that's around the back way of saying that we reduced your 40,000 down to 13,000.
Yeah.
That's all they did. They reduced the amount of money that they were giving us by $27,000.
well, they also reduced the amount of money that we have to borrow ahead.
Yeah, but borrowing ahead doesn't cost us anything. It's going to be
It
it's going to
costs
be
us
replaced
if
in
we're gonna
future
do a
years.
project in the future.
Yeah, but by federal money. It's just reducing the amount of federal money they're giving us by $27,000, no matter how you look at it, unless they up the our share of it. So
Here's the regulations. Will remain eligible at 100%.
yeah,
So there's no match with that 48,000. Only eligible on project-related costs, normal federal aid participation costs, or items.
right.
All projects need to be on the federal aid system or a qualifying bridge. All projects need to be bid through the North Dakota DOT.
Yeah,
Special items previously listed will no longer be eligible. That was all those.
that's just what I'm saying. They just all they did was
Got
along
rid
the
of
way
that.
was reduce the money they gave us from 40,000 to 13,000
So
by making it and made it look like they're doing us a favor.
It
Still-
makes it look like they gave us
Still,
48,000,
you add
but we
up
can't
the-
spend it.
Yeah,
you add up to 39,000 that we saved on the overall costs and our share, it still comes to 48,000 that's reduced off of the
but
project.
we didn't save the 39,000. That was money that was given to us anyway. It was going to be given to us in this pot or another
Yes,
pot.
but we have to spend it on the federal projects, so there you are.
No.
But, right, but that was just recently. Before, we could have spent this 48,000 on other things.
Right.
Yeah,
Now in March, this was March when this new email came out.
yeah.
And they changed it, so.
I mean, no, we have, but my point is, yes, we have to do it, but they weren't doing us a favor, they were taking money away from us.
Well, that's not the only thing.
No, I know
Stuff
that.
coming here about
I know,
the bridges and all that stuff too.
I know.
No.
It sounded so good in the beginning, but, so it's up to you. You can say yes or you can say no, and then we just have to find some way to spend it on another federal project,
It
which,
doesn't make any difference then, because we paid
We
the
spend
same
all our-
Same
percentage.
percentage again.
you know, we'll
Right.
spend all our federal aid, so then,
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not arguing about the fact that we need to spend, but I'm arguing about the fact that they gave us less to spend and made it look like they're doing us a favor.
We're getting less bang for our buck. Right?
We're getting no bang.
here's what it says. The North Dakota DOT has received guidance from the Federal Highway Administration.
Yeah, man, social service received guidance here a couple of years ago and did the same thing to us. The end result is when they need money, they come this way, but that's,
Yeah. Our estimated funds in that FAR fund that's in Bismarck right now is $636,815.
right.
And if those original estimates would have held true, then we would have had a little bit left over.
Right, yeah.
Not by increasing it, but we don't know what the bids are.
No.
All depends upon what the contractors bid.
Right. So,
And I talked to Paul this morning, he said, I don't think, he said, that the immobilization is gonna be that high, he said, but that's what he got from the DOT. So we'll need some kind of a motion or something to either say yes or no, or
I motion to accept it, use the funds for that.
Motion by Stephanie to use our COVID funds against our chip seal project for 2022. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion?
We get till 2024 to spend these funds?
yes, it has to be on a federal project.
Yep. And they might change the rules again by then,
And they might not.
and they might not. But either way, we're gonna be out the money if we don't do it. But if we do it, now we know we're gonna be out the money, but we can always do it at a later time, right?
you're catching on.
I
Yeah.
don't think so, because you won't have anything to match with.
It would either be to use it against this project or the bridge.
Right.
Or another
And
project. Yeah.
it's the same scenario.
Or another, yeah.
Well, unless they change the rules again and let us use it on more things than just a federal project.
That's unlikely.
Well,
My analogy is that we're not going to, it's not gonna cost us any more money to not use this.
yeah, to wait.
It doesn't cost us any more to wait,
No.
but
That's how I feel too. There's always another project, it seems like, so.
Well, I probably shouldn't be arguing, but you're not gonna get a project for 48,000. I don't believe.
Oh, no.
no, I
Oh,
don't
no.
tag on to another one, but I think he makes a valid point.
If you don't have any other funds to cost share with.
Yeah, we do. There's funds in the regular budget to cost share with. We're not using all those, so there's all kinds of money there.
Then it says you gotta use it on a federal project.
Right, but I mean, we'll have you never know. I mean, it doesn't, we've got till 24, that's a long time. There's a lot of things that could happen that need to be fixed. And in my estimation, if this isn't gonna cost us anything by not using it, all we gotta do is, we're just going, I don't see where we're out anything by not using it. The money's still there. It just gives us more time to determine if there's another use for it. And as they change these projects, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it isn't like it's going to, it isn't like it's, I mean, actually, if you put it on a balance sheet, it's gonna, and you did these projects, it's gonna decrease the amount of money that we have available by $27,000. The minute we spend it, we only spend the lower amount. If we keep it there, it's still 48, because it only offsets it, but that's the way I see it.
I guess the downside of using it now is we might have a greater need on a project 2-3 years out.
Yeah, and right now, with the way the rules are, there is no upside. It's just a wash. We use it now or we use it later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no advantage to using it early or today
Nope, we're not paying interest on nothing, there's none whatsoever. And Rain's right, they could further degrade the project if we don't have it, but, you know, what ifs?
Nope, that's why I brought it to you.
Yep.
And I'll let her know, because you haven't voted on it yet.
We roll call this one?
Yep.
John?
No.
Scott?
Yep.
Mark?
No.
Stephanie?
Yep.
Dale votes no. Motion fails.
Okay. So now let's talk about those exciting bridge funds that the House bill gave us.
That comment on it. You can explain, no explain.
So originally, the House Bill 1505 was 75 million allocated directly to the counties through the highway tax distribution formula. And 25 million allocated for North Dakota for the county bridges. These projects need to bid through the DOT, just like a regular federal project. Bridge eligibility will be forthcoming. Well, now that's forthcoming.
Not eligible.
It says,
Yeah.
county need to complete and submit the enclosed project application form by January 15, 2022, which is pretty quick. Eligible costs, and of course it lists all them things that eligible bridges, projects that have been approved and programmed for regular federal aid bridge funds in the next 4 years are not eligible for BRP funds.
So we're still at the 40% matching funds in order to fix that bridge,
We gotta,
if we fix the bridge.
so at 25 million, what is 25 million gonna fix? Estimate our
Statewide,
bridge is-
statewide,
Yeah,
yeah.
statewide, our bridge is gonna be over $1 million.
And that'll be prioritized also.
It'll fix
Prioritized.
Yeah.
10 bridges,
Yeah.
depending on where they are,
Yeah.
or one
Bridges
bridge.
and
Or one
Highway
bridge,
bridges.
one
big
bridge
bridge.
in Bismarck.
Yeah.
That's right.
What over later
Or
state.
Fargo,
Yeah,
and there one sinking
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah, so the bridge estimate was 1,200,000, which is probably gonna go up.
Yeah.
Federal aid available, 971,160.
What was the federal available?
Pardon?
What was the number of the federal aid available?
971,160.
What was the bridge cost?
1,200,000.
1.2.
320,000 or something.
Yeah, if they approve it, if they,
Yeah.
so,
Yep.
yeah. That's something too we have to think about that bridge
I know.
in the future. I haven't received a whole lot of complaints, but I have received some, or a question why it's closed and, because we had to close it off,
Yeah.
so. But, talked to Paul Bjornson today, he said they're still talking about loosening up some of the spending on those funds that we're getting from COVID funds. So they're trying to get it so we can spend it on
Yeah, I mean, if we can use it in
roads and
infrastructure.
stuff, infrastructure.
And use it as a matching, I mean,
Yeah, the only thing is, yeah, if you could use it for matching, and that might be even that, I think he even said that, it could be used for matching.
and then it's still has to be weighed against what else we can use those funds for, you know. Gotta prioritize these things, and at what point, you know, are there other things that take priority in the future over that bridge, I don't know.
You're right. So, okay, that's all I got, I guess.
Oh, well, thank you, Wayne.
Thanks, Wayne.
Yep. Thank you.
They're terribly opposed to letting any of these funds be used locally. They just want them to offset dollars that they normally have to spend.
Yeah, I don't think CNN is gonna highlight something done in Griggs County.
I think there's gonna be more money spent on administration.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah. It's too bad. That would have been so much better for that money if it would have just come here
Let us use it
and decided.
and
us to
use
decide.
it sparingly, accordingly. And not allow $75,000 for mobilization.
Well, that's an additional $75,000. Somebody give me $100,000 to drive 25 trucks from one part of the state to another. I'd start me a company.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
And the first employee they hired was a lobbyist.
Yeah.
I think that was the company that we held them up.
You mean slowed them up? You don't want to be accused of armed robbery.
Well, everybody's wearing a mask now, so.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have, what time is it?
She's on Zoom.
Okay. Interim director, explain our indirect costs to us. I don't remember what our questions were, to tell you the truth.
Right.
You guys had a question on, cause they did ask for the 10,000.
10,021. 10,081.
Yep. 86.
Okay, sorry.
$10,016.86 for the indirect cost for Griggs County Social Services. They did send over all those vouchers, and I did send those to you. I didn't print them out or anything like
it
that,
was a
but
big file.
yep. So,
But I don't recall what our specific question was on the.
John, do you remember what your questions were for her? I think it was, are these?
Yeah, are the costs related to costs that are to be reimbursed for anyway? So the county is supposed to be reimbursed for all the indirect costs of supplying the courthouse and everything associated with it. So are we doubling up? Are we paying a cost that then is being paid back to us? It shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't pay the cost because we're entitled to that cost anyway.
Yep.
So it would be canceling out. It would be canceling out something that we were due. So if any of those costs that we paid are for items that by statute, social services, the state is supposed to pay back to the county, then we shouldn't have to pay them twice.
Jill, did you hear that? Oh, sorry, she got off. Jill, were you able to hear that?
I apologize. I lost connection, and so I'm back on again here. So I'm sorry. I didn't hear what the question was. I apologize.
Okay, so social services in the agreement that they have with the counties after they took over the social services, the county was supposed to be reimbursed for expenses related to providing the building, snow removal, heat, I believe phone service, computer service, all the hard items within the building.
Right.
Are
All the indirect costs.
Yes. Are any of those costs that now we're being billed for included in that payment that we're supposed to be refunded? So when we're paying for I don't even have that in front of me, the indirect costs. Are we paying for something that you were supposed to pay us for?
So this is, and I think each zone does things a little differently. But like in my zone, the indirect costs that come back, it goes to the host county. The host county does take a little bit out for administrative costs, and then they divide the rest of it out amongst the other. So each county gets their share. Then that money is used to pay those indirect costs. And in our zone, the money that we're getting for the state covers all of the indirect costs. Now, in looking at Eastern Plains, the amount that the state has paid in the two payments is $52,508.16. So far, the expenses for out of the indirect fund is $37,996.19. So it would cover that. My understanding, and I did talk with Mary yesterday because I wasn't quite clear on, but it looks like some of that indirect fund is going to pay some of the countywide cost allocation, which is something we don't do in the zones the zone that I'm in. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's new to me. I hadn't heard that we had to pay countywide cost allocation out of that amount of money.
So the only way to make sure that we're following the intent of this whole state-run social services is we need to itemize and put a cost to the services that the county provides that they should be reimbursed for. And that's all spelled out in the Century Code. So we need to put a cost to those, and then we need to see whether or not what you billed us for here is one of those costs. Because in essence, then we would be paying something twice.
Well, all of the things that have been billed are all within, that would be the indirect costs. It's supplies, it's computer stuff, it's phones, it's all of that.
But what's included in the list of things that the social services is supposed to reimburse the county for? That's my point. Are these reimbursable items that now we are actually paying for? And I don't know, I can't answer that question because no one ever gives us an itemized list of either one.
Okay.
So it's just a lump sum. It's a lump sum that the state pays to Griggs County for the building and things like that. And I've asked over and over the years, and no one ever will itemize it. Well, what's this money for? What? It's for you. Well, that doesn't answer the question. And now, so we're never going to answer this today. We need a more in-depth accounting of this.
And I can certainly do more digging into it, but like I said, I'm not, I could be wrong, but my interpretation, my zone board's interpretation is that indirect money that comes, that's used to pay for your phone, your, the heat, all of those kinds of things. That is what that indirect money is used to pay for.
Correct. So let's itemize those. Then alongside it, let's look at the itemized list of what you are billing us for and see if any of them overlap.
I'm not sure what you mean by overlap. I'm not following that. What's overlapping?
So what the state, I don't want to get into an argument here. Why don't you just give us the itemized list of what the state reimburses us for, and then an itemized list of what you billed us for, and of course the overlap would be any items that appear on both lists. And I've asked for this over and over and over the years, and I to get the same answer, and
well, and
I'm getting more stubborn the older I get.
I think that's what it is I think so let me do a little bit more digging and make sure that I'm clear on this. Okay, how does that sound?
No, make
Because
sure
I'm
that,
not
make
sure if
make
it's
sure that we can be
correctly.
clear. You clear on it doesn't really answer the question. Being able to have the county commission clear on it is what we're looking for. How's that sound?
Okay, yeah, I get that, but I mean, you and I are interpreting how the law was written differently.
No,
Okay.
no. I just want to be able to look at it and make sure that we are following how the law was written. I don't need, and I've asked that over and over again, and I never get an answer. So I'm just looking for accountability because I'm charged with spending the taxpayers' money responsibly. And the only way I can do that is be able to look at the figures and determine whether I'm doing that. And more than likely, you're correct. But if that's the case, let's put it in paper and let's look at it.
And I can certainly, I have a spreadsheet that shows the expenses that have come out of the indirect costs for the entire year up to the end of November. So, I mean, I can certainly get that to you. That's not a problem.
And then the expenses that we are due for the building and the rest of it, how are those? That's what I've always wanted to see. How are they itemized? What do we do? How much, and how is that figured? How is it figured for the heat that we provide? How is it figured for the space we provide? I've never seen that itemized.
Okay, so right now, so then you're talking about the countywide cost allocation, not the indirect costs coming from the state to cover
Both,
the indirect.
yeah.
You're talking
We have
countywide
the
cost
indirects.
allocation.
Yeah, we've got the indirect.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm talking about the allocation. Can that be itemized, and can the limits be put on it? How do they arrive at that allocation? We've asked that question forever, and no one ever tells us.
It's a really good question. To me, the countywide cost allocation is very confusing.
Okay.
I don't have a clear answer on it either.
Well, please unconfuse us.
I wish I could, and maybe, I know, I'm not sure who you work with, but I know Diane Blasco is with that. I don't know if she could come and explain it maybe to the commission. Samantha, is that something that she could do, or who's your representative?
Kate?
Kate? And maybe that's a place to start, is having them come, because they're the ones that do all the figuring, have them come and try and explain it. I would love to be part of it myself.
I had asked them a few years ago to come and explain it, and then they would just stop answering my emails.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me try and reach out to them and see, Sam, you and I will touch base with you if you want to get me the name for sure, and then I will reach out to them and see if they will come and meet with us.
Yeah, it's Diane's Blasco's assistant, Kate.
Okay. So I may just reach out even to Diane and just ask her if that's something that she would be willing to come and do.
Perfect.
Okay? How does that sound?
Oh, yeah, I'm just looking for answers. Not saying that when they get here, I'm going to agree with what you tell me, but I want to hear what they have to tell me.
Yep. Okay. Let me see what I can do, and I will be in touch with Samantha to set up a time. Okay?
This is kind of a hostage situation.
A hostage?
Yeah, we've got your money you want.
Oh. I suppose we do, don't you?
Yeah. For once, we have the upper hand here.
Oh, that sounds
Well,
great.
and again,
I mean,
we don't, we truly don't have any say over that either. That is just done, and they come up with those numbers. That's not something I have any say over.
No, we understand that. We've just always wanted an explanation, and it's been going on since social service took over the management of it, and we've never got an answer.
Sure, okay. Well, let me see what I can come up with, okay?
Okay,
That sounds good, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We have to pay the bill though from the year, correct? Or pay them back?
Why?
No, every year we've done that, haven't we though?
We have, but at a point, we need to know what's owed us and what we owe them, and we only know one side of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Our responsibility isn't to social services. That's taken over by the state. Our responsibility is to the
Correct.
taxpayers of Griggs County.
I know that. I'm just
Okay.
saying, I'm just trying to.
Well,
every year-
have to is not a term I would use. They would like us to, but ultimately, the money is here, and we're not supposed to pay it unless we're sure that we're paying something that should be paid. So I would say the have to part is we have to not pay it until we're assured that it's being paid, spent frugally. Always remember that the state doesn't tell us what to do. We are told what to do by the people we represent. And we're at opposite sides of the spectrum here. The state, as you just saw with the funds and the national, they want us to always be squeezed in their benefit. We would like them to be squeezed in our benefit.
Well, if she can get the state to respond to us would.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that
Be
they
very
never
helpful.
respond and just tell us, well, that's the way it is an indication that it probably isn't, probably don't want to respond. They might very well be right.
The way I understood the cost allocation is it was for their portion of the office spaces, the use of me, the use of Jamie, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
I'm not really sure how they arrive at their figure or how to even read their report, but that's the way that Sia had told me that's.
Well, I mean, I'm reading it when they first started, it was heat, lights, snow removal,
Yeah.
all kinds of different things, and it looks like some of those things could double over into what they just billed us for.
And there was that one or a few years that we didn't receive any of the cost allocation
Absolutely.
because they were
Yeah,
uptown and.
so let's just say there's a $1,000 item that they are charging us for that we should have been paid for. That now becomes a $2,000 swing. So we just need to make sure that this is done correctly, and when people don't want to tell you how it is, but tell you that they don't have
How they do it.
how they do it, you gotta be suspect then. And it's not being mean, it's just, that's our job.
It's real similar to how they figure the valuation of ag real estate. They
Yeah.
tell you what it is, but they won't tell you how
They
they
won't tell you how to
determine it.
do it. And so everything's
That's-
based on accountability, and if they can't be accountable, pretty soon the people that we're representing, if they can't come to us and say, well, why did this cost this money, the people are gonna say, well, I don't want you looking out for me. You're not looking out for me. You're looking out for the people of the state or the federal government. And I'm not doing that.
So what you want is it itemized, actually what it's supposed to be for, that set amount of money. Exactly, what it goes.
They gave us a check and say
Yeah.
you're paid in full.
Full, but you want what they're.
What they paid us in full for.
Yeah, correct, yeah, I see the point.
And then how they arrived at the amounts that
amount
they
for each
gave
thing.
us for each item.
Item, okay.
See, because so I gotta, you're the one paying here, and I'm gonna pay you, and I owe you X amount of dollars, and you owe me this amount of dollars, but I'm not gonna tell you how I arrived at either one of those figures, and I hand them to you. You can offset,
Mhm.
yeah. And maybe that's not the case.
But if we don't have numbers, we don't know.
No.
Kelly,
So the prices of, obviously materials and items and all of the things. I think you approved $1,000 for this. But, so right now, I can find one, I've looked online, I found one for 300, I found one for 500, I found one for 850. Of course, you know, we can't purchase it now until we're approved for the grant, obviously. So I called Mike and I talked to him, and he said, you know, he can guarantee this $850 if we do one for custom, if he doesn't have this SAF 8918 available. I told him, I said, you know, if I had the money right now, I'd buy the inexpensive one and not spend all this if we didn't have to. So he said, you know, when the time comes, if I can't find one less than this, you know, but if I find one less than this, he's totally okay with us, you know, with me going ahead and getting whatever. He understands. And he said he can guarantee this price, but he said, you know, I couldn't tell you that I could get that item right now for that price because he said everything's just so unpredictable. So our cost would be $212.50 and $637.50 would be for the grant. And so my hopes is that it's, you know, I can find something quite a bit under that cost, but at least we have that.
Didn't we approve this already, or you just,
Yeah,
you're just letting us know?
This is the application. You'd have to sign it so then we can send it in to the state.
Okay.
And then this is where they would look at it and review, and they'd let us know the end of January, beginning of February if they approve it or not.
Okay.
So,
I'll move we approve Kelly's application to the court facilities improvement grant funds as provided.
Motion by John to approve applying for the courtroom facilities grant. Second.
I'll second.
Seconded by Scott. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All right, none will proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Scott?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Stephanie?
Aye.
Dale votes aye. Motion carries.
can you sign your copy here?
Yeah.
Just that one. Sam, did I give you a copy? Yeah, I did. Okay.
Gotta have something
No,
other-
you
I've
got-
got a purple pen. I'd rather not sign it.
I
Not
got,
feeling flamboyant
That's one of my
today.
fancy pens.
no, you only gave me 3 for them.
I thought I put 5 down. Well, you can have that. No,
No,
that's a copy.
I got a copy here. Yeah, there's one here.
I was gonna say, I thought I gave you 5. You can have this one.
Perfect.
If you want it.
Thank you.
Let me see this count.
Thank you.
Thanks. Here, I'll take this one. Can you sign and then so she can transfer? Can you sign and transfer? Like if she does this transfer. Yep.
Hey, thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Redistricting.
So on Monday we had our redistricting meeting, and what you have in front of you is the new maps of the districts. Let me see here. So our population after the census was 2,306. So we had to be within 10% of the average. The average was 461. So the lowest we could be was 416. The highest you could be was 507. District 1 was at 405. District 2 was 516. Number 3 was 491. Number 4 was 395. And number 5 was at 499. So we did do a little bit of redistricting. Steph lost the Cooperstown Township and John gained that. And then we did move Scott down 1 block. We are not cutting off at Foster anymore. We are cutting off at Park Avenue. So now the new populations are number 1 is 464, number 2 is 457, number 3 428, number 4 is 458, and number 5 is 499.
And those are overall citizens, not voters. It's
Correct.
general population.
Correct.
Yep.
So what I sent you guys last night, you guys didn't get the colored copy, so it was kind of gray to gray. So this is the the new one. So that was just for information purposes.
We have an abatement for the county-owned property that are selling to Binford. We have to abate the taxes on the mobile home on it. We didn't do that prior, we abated them on
You
the,
guys abated the taxes on the property and not on the mobile home.
Mobile, okay. This is the mobile home then.
Mm-hmm.
So is this a different property than the one that we gave to Binford?
No, this is the same one. We haven't given it to Binford yet, but at the tax sale, there was the one property in Binford and it did have a mobile home on it. And so you did abate the taxes on the land, not on the mobile home.
I was under the impression that the property in Binford was a house rather than the mobile home, the property where the mobile home was.
I can have Connie come in. I don't know exactly where this is at all, so.
This isn't something we've got to do with this meeting, is it? I don't think so. Because it would have had to been at the tax sale that we had before. I think John's right. My understanding is there was a house there, not a mobile home.
That was the understanding of the city council in Binford also. That it was a house on Main Street, just north of Main Street there.
Why don't you look into this, John,
I will.
and get back to us next meeting? I think we just table it till then.
Sounds good. Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to table this till next meeting.
motion by Mark to table the abatement until our next meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All, barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Abatement is tabled until next meeting. A beer and liquor license application from the Sutton Pub.
I'll make a motion to approve the license application.
Motion by Mark to approve the retail liquor and retail beer license for the Sutton Pub. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Stephanie. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Juneteenth holiday.
So, few employees were wondering if that is now an official courthouse holiday, doing up the calendars and stuff like that. Some offices were saying that they were going to mark it on their calendars because in the employee manual it does say that we get anything that the president makes a holiday or the governor. When I did some research on it, I couldn't decipher one way or the other. I did talk to Jamie, and Jamie said the way that the employee manual is written, it should be an official holiday, but he wanted you guys to make the final determination. I was looking for something that it said that this wasn't an official holiday because Christopher Columbus Day is a federal holiday, but it's not an official federal holiday, so we do not recognize Columbus Day here. So I didn't know. I went back and forth, and I'm not really sure. So it's up to you guys.
Well, then I guess at this point it's a no, in my view, until we find out more information one way or the other.
Well, Jamie did some research in it and said that the way that the employee manual is written and how the president did it, it should be a holiday for us.
But the founding of the discovery of our country is not?
It's an official federal holiday?
No,
Or Biden just called it a holiday?
I don't know.
I'd like to really actually know what it is.
Because
before
he
I act
officially
on
made
this.
it, or he made it a holiday on the 18th, and then it was supposed to be the 19th was the holiday. So then we didn't recognize it the last year, but
What did the state do? State employees.
I
think we should table this till the 20th.
Oh, it doesn't seem like there's any clear answer to what it is or not. Or if it's a federal holiday or a state holiday.
I think Jamie was supposed to be in here. I was hoping he was going to be in here so he could kind of explain more, because he did some research, because I asked him to,
Yep.
and he was supposed to be on here, but I can message him too.
There again, I don't think this is something we have to decide today. He can get back to us and talk to us when it needs to happen.
Right. Nope, everybody was just looking at their new calendars and starting to make some stuff, but
I think we can not act on this until we got a little more information.
Good.
'Cause now it's kind of just by guess and by golly, that sounds
Right.
like to me. So.
Yeah.
What is Juneteenth?
The day that is it the 19th?
17th.
17th? And it's the day that the slaves were.
Emancipation Proclamation?
No.
No.
Marched into Texas, into San Antonio, and declared it's
Kind of a politically correct holiday.
It's also referred as Freedom Day.
Okay. Well, when we get a little more guidance on whether it qualifies, then we can act on this. I think we'll just not for this time.
Oh, yeah, the question is, which states observe Juneteenth? And the states that have not yet officially deemed Juneteenth an official holiday, one of them is actually North Dakota.
Okay.
What was the date on that one? Because Maddie found that one and then found a different one.
Okay.
I move we table it until we have more information.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the proper course of action. We move that to future business, Sam.
Yeah. Who seconded that table motion?
I'll second it.
Oh, we don't need a motion. Never mind. Sorry.
We don't need it.
Sorry. Never mind.
We just won't act on it.
Yep. Got it.
Okay.
No action taken at this time.
Just for our information, June 19th recognizes 1865 recognizes when enslaved people in Texas learned they had been freed. Although President Abraham Lincoln had signed the Emancipation Proclamation 2 years earlier. So it's celebrating the freedom of the slaves in Texas is
In
what's
Texas.
original.
Okay.
And that was on the 19th, not the 17th, I guess.
Special commission meeting.
So every year I do ask you guys to do a special meeting just to pay the remainder of bills for the year. If possible, we would like to do it on the 29th. Don't really care what time. That would be after payroll and before closing of the books for the month and the year. So if we could do that, that would be
What
awesome.
day is that?
It's a Wednesday.
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 29th look like it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Works for me.
That'd be fine.
And what time?
What time do we want to make it happen? After dinner works best for me.
Yep,
Steph,
2:30.
2:30 work?
You know,
That'd
you
be
can
fine
zoom
for
me
me.
in whenever,
Okay,
so.
2:30.
2:30 on the 29th.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do we have anything for old courthouse, new courthouse?
We got the generator working. So that's good.
Was it the starter?
It was a battery.
Oh, very good. Did Brian figure that out, or did we have to hire somebody to do that?
Brian figured it out in the meantime of a gentleman coming. And then,
Okay.
yep, and then the gentleman came and looked at it and said, yep, it's good to go. We would like to get on a annual inspection so that it's always being inspected. But I think Brian's gonna talk to you guys about that.
That'd be great.
Any future business?
So I have the Juneteenth, the abatement, and then the indirect cost from the human services.
Sounds good.
So we know what to ask from Human Services now. We want to define the categories and the amounts that the state pays us for the services we provide.
And how the amounts are arrived at. They pay so much per square foot for heating or snow removal or how it happens.
Yeah, are they actual costs or are they estimated costs? What's the cap on them?
You need a motion to adjourn before Scott says it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Motion by Mark to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Scott. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Barring none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next meeting adjourned at 3:52. Next meeting is special meeting on Wednesday, the 29th at 2:30 in this room. First meeting of next year will be January 6th at 2:30.